Well, here we are, looking at another one of my many projects that I have on the go this winter. And I've been doing this for about the past 8 or 9 years now. I propagate my own hybrid poplars to use out in the yard there. So pretty much all of the poplars on our property have been rooted in this fashion. So I'll give you a quick tour of what I have going on here. I built a couple of just drip trays out of some corrugated white plastic, so that makes just a small drip tray to hold any moisture, and then basically each tray holds 4 rows of 6, so 24 of these 1-gallon grow bags, and this is ProMix rooting medium. So 24 grow bags per tray, so for a total of 48 trees to be rooted. What I do is I have kind of routed in between each of the rows of 6. They are 60-watt battery blankets, so you can see here they're just tucked in between, and I have them wired up through a special plug which basically puts both battery blankets electrically in series with each other, so it reduces the output power down considerably and doesn't end up melting the plastic bag. It just gives a gentle slow amount of heat, and basically keeps all of the grow bags at about 20-21 degrees Celsius. And so that is the optimal temperature for rooting the hybrid poplars. And so basically you get the bags all set up, everything filled, soak them down, let them sit for a day or two, and then they are ready for the trees to go in. So earlier today I went and took a bunch of cuttings here. So here I have 48. These would be cuttings from probably 2 or 3 year old trees now that are out in the yard. They've been soaking in a bucket of cold water for 4 or 5 hours, and basically it's about a, I don't know, 18-20 inch long whip. Basically the end is cut on a diagonal, and dip that end of the whip into this stem root. It's a rooting hormone, and then basically just put the whip down into the soil about 2/3 the way into the grow bag, and then wait for them to start to bud. Usually takes about 3 weeks before you see any activity, but yeah, usually around the 21-day mark, most of the whips that are planted have started to bud, and you'll start to see some leaves coming out. So that's how I've been growing trees here for several years now. I think I've got I'm going to say probably about 400 trees, and so yeah, they've all been doing really well. And this method here, using the grow bags, the heat, I do have some lights set up top there, but this is a pretty effective setup. Usually out of 48, I would expect at least to get 46 viable trees coming out and ready to be planted later this spring. Okay, so I opened up the jar of the rooting hormone. All it takes is just a little bit on the end there, and that'll start to promote the poplars to start growing. So basically you take them and just push them into the soil, like I said, about 2/3 the way to the pot, and then that'll be our tree for this year. Okay, so I've got all of the poplar cuttings. They've all been dipped in the stimmy rooting hormone, and they've been all put into 1 per pot. And basically now it is the waiting game. So like I said, about 3 weeks we'll start to see some activity, and then at that point I'll put the grow lights on as well. There's no point in turning the lights on before then. Really has no impact on what occurs in the first 3 weeks. Basically everything that's happening is all down there at the bottom of that cutting. So it's going to start to develop roots. Once it has enough root development, it's going to just start to put out a little tiny like green kind of tongue from the leaf, and then it'll start to grow from there. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Give you a quick idea of how I've been rooting these poplars, and I'll give you an update in a couple weeks.